Today on Selling Houses.
There's things like the light fittings, which I know are your style and your taste.
They're not.
Excellent. They're awful. Get rid of them.
Three sellers snoop round each other's houses.
Anyone live here, or is it sort of squatters?
It's like 1970s.
This wallpaper reminds me of wheelie bins.
I deliver some home truths.
There's too much white in here. It's like I'm going blind.
And meet some opposition.
Not too sure about the peacock.
Cover your ears. She doesn't mean it.
They'll get £1,000 and 7 days to make changes.
It's just getting worse.
I would say it looks like camouflage.
All competing to get an offer from my buyer.
It looks fantastic,
Yeah.
really, it does.
Today I'm in West Sussex, where King Canute famously tried and failed to stop the incoming tide. And there's no stopping the rise in house prices here either. They've gone up 6% in the last 12 months. Music to the ears of my three sellers, hoping to catch the interest of my buyer, chauffeur Chris, whose children have recently flown the nest.
You're downsizing, aren't you?
Yes.
Which brings me on to the last time you bought and sold properties, which was a couple of decades ago, wasn't it?
Thank you. Thank you, Amanda.
So Stella isn't here today, your wife, but has she given you a sort of list?
It would be nice to have a third reception room downstairs for a small study for me, preferably 3 bedrooms, a kitchen diner. We've never had a kitchen diner.
What about outside space?
Outside space, certainly a reasonable-sized patio, but very much a low-maintenance garden.
Property-wise, what type or style of house would suit you now?
We still have a leaning towards new.
If you found
Yes.
an amazing house, but it maybe needed a wall knocking down to create that wonderful kitchen diner, that wouldn't put you off, it wouldn't frighten you?
No, I've got very good connections for all the building trades.
Excellent. Do you think you'll know when you see it, whether it's the house for you?
Yes, we've been prone to quite quick decision-making, for good, bad or indifferent.
No, I think this is going to be interesting. I've got some very different
Excellent.
properties for you.
Marvellous, looking forward to it.
For his perfect downsized home, Chris has a budget of up to £450,000. I've got 3 properties in mind, but all need work before I can show them to him. First up, it's airline pilot Richard and his flatmate Camilla. He's selling his 3-bed new build.
So I bought the house initially with my ex. It's a family house, and we're not together anymore. So I want to downsize to a 2-bedroom flat. The house has been on the market a couple of weeks. I've had a couple of people round already. It just seemed, they seem like people who just fancy a bit of a nose around the house, really. A bit of time wasting.
Or maybe they didn't take to your very masculine decor?
My style is it's modern, clean. It just looks really smart.
It's simple, it's modern, but he doesn't really like colours.
You don't say.
My favourite room in the house is the sitting room.
It is the living room, yes.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's got 3D wallpaper. The paper that, if you look at it for long enough, makes you feel sick.
I'm not a fan of it, but
It's a very similar story upstairs.
I'd describe my bedroom in exactly the same style. It's got black and white on. It is a man cave, yeah.
Even Richard's garden is a little on the stark side.
I would agree that the garden is soulless. There's nothing in it, apart from 2 plants.
Let's hope Richard's not too black and white when it comes to taking my advice.
Yeah, I find if advice is given to me that I agree with, I find it very easy to follow.
yeah.
Oh dear. Richard's blokey new build has got an alpha male lounge and his garden is soulless. But it's the cheapest of my 3 properties at £375,000. Next up, it's former village postmistress Indy and her Aunt Sue.
We're selling because we tend to live abroad more now.
But the layout of this 3-bed property, which used to be part shop, part living accommodation, is making it hard to shift.
You need to convert the front space, which was the old post office, into a lounge area.
Indy's current lounge is large, but it's on the first floor above the old shop and a long trudge from the downstairs kitchen.
If you want to sit in the lounge or you want to have a cup of tea, watching the TV upstairs in the lounge, you've got to take your tea upstairs.
Indy's got the planning permission to do the work, but turning this old post office into a smart family home will be no easy job. Hope these girls are up for it.
My leadership skills are pretty okay. I can shout quite loudly when I want to, if need be.
That's what I like to hear. This old post office needs serious rearranging. The shop area is a dead space and the Bland Lounge is in the wrong part of the house. There's a lot to do on this property, which is on for £415,000. My last rival seller is community nurse Rosemary and her daughter, assistant accountant Claire. Rosemary's selling this very special 4-bed semi.
The house is about 600 years old. I'd always wanted to live in an old house with an inglenook fireplace, the well in the garden, and now I've been able to do that. And now I'm ready to move on to a different stage of my life with different priorities, really.
The entire lower floor is dominated by a large living room, but it's in a state that would only appeal to the most avid of history buffs.
There are certain bits of it are a bit dated. You've got some things that are traditional, some things that are a bit old-fashioned, Mum, and maybe...
What do you mean?
And the kitchen added at the back of the house in Victorian times is little better.
The fine balance between country cottage kitchen and dated, and I think, unfortunately, it's heading a little bit more towards the dated.
Yes, I take the point.
There's a lot to do. Let's hope this mum and daughter duo have got what it takes.
Yes, I think we are
work as a
pretty
team.
close.
I think we work well as a team, hopefully, this week.
It'll be proved this week, won't it?
Got a lot of work to do, yeah.
Even for a house as old as this, Rosemary's decor is stuck in the past. The living room is dingy and the kitchen is dated, which may be putting people off paying her asking price of £425,000. So it's Richard's black and white new build against Rosemary's ancient cottage and Indy's old post office. To help my sellers work out what they might need to change in their own homes, they now get the chance to have a sneaky peek at their rivals' properties. The first home under scrutiny is Indy's old post office.
This house could be a real gem. It's clean, it's tidy, and the space is incredible. But having started its life as a shop, it's very hard to see its potential as a home. Now, in order to attract buyers, Indy and Sue are going to have to be very inventive when it comes to disguising this building's past.
Richard and Camilla are first to take a look.
Okay.
Anyone live here, or is it sort of squatters? I wouldn't want to wander around in my pants.
I just wasn't expecting the shop front, I suppose, yeah.
So, confusion outside. Inside is the old shop space.
It's a good size.
Good size, but you can't get out of the room. There's no doors.
Is there like a secret door?
That window does feel more conspicuous when you come in, but it doesn't feel like a sitting room, does it?
The rest of the house is accessed by a door at the side, with the kitchen downstairs and the lounge on the first floor.
Well, upside-down living, really, haven't we? We've got the living space upstairs.
It's a bit higgledy-piggledy.
It doesn't have much colour. It's just this cream, well, mixed cream with cream and cream carpet and cream sofa and a cream curtain. It's just very cream.
But across the landing, the master bedroom does get Richard thinking.
It's got a bit more character. I mean, my house is it's new build, isn't it? So it's kind of a little bit...
It's got only black and white, so I think it's lacking the colour.
The house is on the market for £415,000.
No, I think it's a bit too much, bearing in mind that you have to put some work.
A lot of work, especially with that
In the
front room,
front
wouldn't
room,
it?
yeah.
That's going to cost you a lot of money.
Well, that's a very fair
Changing
price
the layout of it,
for
yeah.
the potential that you would have here.
Yeah, I think that's a good price.
So, mixed reactions to the price, but both agree there's a lot of work to do to turn this old post office into a first-class home. Next up is Rosemary and Claire's medieval cottage.
It oozes history and character, but the dated decor and the tired presentation really does let it down. If the girls can manage to modernise it whilst retaining its charm, then I'm sure they will have a sale in next to no time.
Indy and Sue are first to take a look.
Look at those beams. My goodness, it's beautiful. It is, it is.
Who do you think lives in this house?
A hobbit?
The low front door leads straight into the lounge.
Very old-fashioned.
Very old-fashioned, yeah. I want to get out as soon as I can, because I can stand up.
At the end of the living room is the kitchen.
The house itself is very old, and the kitchen isn't that old, but it hasn't blended very well. It's like 1970s.
Tiles look very, very dated, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you like them?
They are.
In the back garden, Richard finds inspiration.
I need a well. Clearly, I need a well. Yeah, I mean, mine's just there's nothing in it. This is nice. Got loads of character.
Yeah, it's got a lot of character.
Yeah, it's nice chairs, nice
Yeah.
table.
The house is on the market for £425,000.
I don't think the house is worth £425,000. I think it needs quite a lot of work doing to it.
Anyone over about 4 foot would be mad to buy this house. I just wouldn't even move in.
So both rivals agree it's not value for money, but Richard could see the benefit of a characterful back garden. Last is Richard's black and white new build.
Richard's home really is a clean and sleek example of a modern family property, but his lack of imagination when it comes to the decor has left it feeling soulless and rather clinical. If he wants to attract buyers, he's going to need to inject a splash of colour and add a more feminine touch.
First to look are Rosemary and Claire.
Wow, that's a good size, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a lovely
Yes,
welcoming house,
very
isn't
nice.
This is really nice. Quite newish, isn't it? Lots of light.
Inside, Claire and Rosemary see an immediate difference between their lounge and this one.
It's just really white and light and bright, isn't it?
Yes.
The natural light coming in is lovely.
And it gives Indy and Sue ideas for making their shopfront more homely.
It will be a nice window like this. Downstairs
Yes,
will become a
yes,
nice
it can,
window,
yeah.
But also my window will hopefully be a bit higher so people can't look in.
Doors lead out of the living room to the garden.
It's soulless. It doesn't feel... It feels like an exercise space, doesn't it? It's like, right, get some fresh air.
I don't think Alan Titchmarsh would approve,
No.
would he?
Upstairs is the master bedroom.
Definitely
Richard
need to
has
get
to
the
be-
ironing board out, I think.
Yeah, it needs to
And
be ironed.
make the bed properly, I think. No creases.
And I don't like these bumps in.
Well, this is it. The bed, it's not been made properly.
This wallpaper reminds me of wheelie bins.
Oh, yes.
I just think it's a bit black and plastic and not warm and cosy for a bedroom.
This house is on for £375,000.
That's a really good buy, yeah. That
I'm not
is.
surprised.
Yeah, really good buy.
Okay, I think 375 is quite a good price for this house.
Both sellers agree it's good value and both learn the benefits of a bright and well-presented living room. Today, I'm in West Sussex, giving 3 struggling sellers some tips on how to make their properties more appealing to my buyer, chauffeur Chris.
We're looking to downsize. We've now reached that stage in life where we can realistically do it. 2 or 3 bedrooms is absolutely fine.
All my sellers have had the chance to look around their rivals' properties to see how they could improve their own.
It's as soon as people get through the door that the impact takes
Lighter
place,
and
really.
brighter.
First impressions.
A lot more colour. I think it's going to attract the sort of female. I've got a quite a masculine house at the moment.
I need to bring my lounge downstairs and make it cosy and warm.
Great, they've got it. I'm going to give them some advice, £1,000 and 1 week to put things right. First, it's Richard and Camilla's new build semi, which is dominated by masculine black and white.
First of all, I think it's a beautiful house. The other sellers, when they came in, they all said it was very lovely, but they all said monochrome, quite sterile, quite blokey.
All right, okay.
What do you think of it, decor-wise, as a girl?
I totally agree with you. It's man cave.
You need to appeal to a much wider audience than just single blokes.
Definitely.
I don't dislike this wallpaper at all, but
It's going to go.
I do like it, but there's too much white in here. It's like I'm going blind. It's like snow blindness.
Okay.
So what would be great is to take this off and on that wall put paper, because that's the wall that you see as you first come in. So on that wall, I'm thinking, again, still keeping with the sort of monochrome feel, but just something with a little bit more
Colour.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you hate it or not? I know
It's
it's
all
not.
right. It's a bit
not,
different, isn't it? But
Yeah.
it's not offensive.
And then your sofas, do you have one each? You there and you there. Are there 2 seats? Is that Camilla's one because it's got the 2 C's on it, and that one's yours because it's got the R on it? Because what would be nice, keep one definitely, but again they're big blokey sofas. Lose one and think about we call them statement chairs. Camilla, how much help are you gonna put into this whole thing?
Maybe I take care of the colours.
You're gonna take care of the colours. Good idea.
Lounge sorted, it's on to the stark back garden.
I am straddling the
see
only
the two plants that I've
only
got
plant
as
that you have in this entire garden. One thing you need to think about here and address is the fact that there is no seating area at all, apart from the 3 chairs that you've got up against the brick wall, like a kind of outdoor doctor's surgery. What you want to be able to do is come out of here and sit down with a group of friends and relax. You extend this part of the patio down, so you create a much bigger space here to put a table and chairs. Then we need to tackle things like the shed. It's a perfectly lovely shed. It would look so much nicer if you painted it.
Painted it?
Yeah, paint it. Trust me. One last thing. Your bedroom.
Okay, cool.
Let's do it. Thinking behind this, again, was to keep it plain and simple, monochrome.
Yeah, well, it's quite a big headboard, so I thought put black against it, tones it down a little bit.
Or makes it disappear.
makes it disappear. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
One of the other sellers, when they came in, said that the wallpaper reminded them of a wheelie bin.
You're crazy.
So I think, again, I hate to say it, but this wallpaper has to go. As lovely as it is for you, we need to just soften it up a wee bit. And I've got some hiding under your duvet cover.
Okay.
It's not too scary, is it? Is it scary or not? I think it's lovely. I really like this. Look. What do you think?
It's definitely more feminine.
Think about throws, think about textures, woolen cushions, silk spreads. I know you thought you were in for an easy ride this week, and I've suddenly proved that you're not, because I've given you three major parts of the house to do.
Yeah, that's a lot, isn't it?
Are you frightened?
No, not at all.
Looking forward to it?
Yeah.
You want to get this sold,
definitely.
don't you?
Yeah, get it done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might not want to sleep in here or be in the living room, but, you know.
Yeah. It's always tricky when you're selling what is ostensibly a second-hand home on a modern estate. You've really got to make your property stand out. And because of his choice of monochrome decor, he's really not appealing to a wide market. I guess in a way what he has to do is really get in touch with his feminine side, which I think might be quite difficult for him. But with Camilla on board, I'm hoping I'm going to come back to lots of scatter cushions.
Yeah, Amanda's suggestions, probably not something I'd go for, but, you know, I'd give it a go and see how it turns out.
So Richard drowns his sorrows and downs his beloved 3D wallpaper in the lounge.
3, 2, gone.
It's kind of dawned on me. Never see it again, yeah. This is it.
Next, on the opposite side of the room, Richard and his friend Anthony attempt to put up a more feminine wallpaper.
I didn't look up how to do it. I was just kind of guessing as I go along.
This spells trouble.
It's just getting worse. You put it on the wall, it looks amazing. And then minutes later, it's got loads of air bubbles in it. Camilla, can you see any air bubbles in it?
Not from here.
Makes no sense.
Next, it's Sue and Indy, whose old post office needs repurposing as a family home.
Other sellers, when they came here, said that, well, they were confused by the space, like everybody will be.
Yes.
One of them said that he wouldn't fancy wandering around here in his pants.
No, you couldn't, because
I think the local villagers might quite like it, depending on... There are lots of different ways in which you could dress that window. The simplest, most cost-effective way, I think, would be to look at doing something like a very sweet little French cottage. So a piece of doweling halfway up on each side of the window, and then you run some very pretty lace curtains below it.
Okay.
We need to address how we access the rest of the house.
Okay, yes.
And the way to do that is through that door that has been bricked up.
Yes.
To knock that through, to take out the brick wall at the back and move the radiator, and possibly put a lintel in if needs be, you'd be looking at about £350.
Oh, okay.
Now we need to turn everything else back into a sitting room. I'm thinking of something in this lovely colour. I thought you ladies, see, I knew you ladies would like this.
That's lovely.
But look how pretty that looks.
Yes.
Just on this one wall? Just on that one wall. Yeah. So because we haven't got a door there yet, we're going to have to go outside to go upstairs. So should we go and look upstairs?
Excellent.
So it's upstairs to the first floor lounge that's above the old shop.
So obviously the lounge is going to go downstairs.
It is, yes.
And then we're going to bring this back into a master bedroom.
Okay.
Are you okay with that?
Yes, I think so.
This is what we want.
I would like to see an opulent bedroom, and I think you can get away with it. I'm thinking of a wallpaper along the lines of this, not everywhere.
Okay. Nice.
Do you like it?
Yes.
Not too sure about the peacock, but I think the peacocks...
Cover your ears. Cover your ears. She doesn't mean it. It's only going on that wall.
Okay, just
so
the
it will
one
go
wall,
on that
yes.
wall. Yeah, I'm not talking the whole room. That might be
Okay.
peacock overload. So I would do the rest of the room in this lovely soft sage green.
Okay.
So all of those walls. So ladies, a lot of work to do. 7 days, £1,000. How confident are we feeling on a scale of 1 to 10?
9, 9.5?
I like that.
Yes.
Good on you, Indy. Go for it.
I love these two. They've got so much energy and positivity, and they are sitting on a real little gem. But the trouble is with it is because it was always used as a shop, it's really hard for any buyer to see it in any other way other than a shop and a flat above it. So they've got to be clever, they've got to be creative, and they've only got £1,000 and 7 days in which to do it. But you know what? I reckon they're going to weave some magic.
The money will be well spent putting the door through into the post office, the old ex-post office. I think that is a must.
So while Indy clears out her upstairs lounge,
Bye, Cherub. You have to go.
downstairs she's called in the experts to knock through the doorway.
I think they've been working so hard, and that's the least I can do, is give them a nice cup of tea.
Right, thank you.
Once the radiator on the other side has been moved, a new door is cut to shape.
Wow, I have a door. Wonderful.
Finally, it's Rosemary and Sue's tired medieval townhouse with its oppressive lounge and dated kitchen.
You know, it's lovely to come and look at it, but from the point of view of living everyday life, you can't be sort of going round with your head sort of, you know, ducking every time.
Like this. I do feel a tad like Gandalf, I have to say. As soon as people walk into the door, we need to somehow give an illusion of light and space.
Yes.
And somehow make them think that even though this is very, very low, it's livable. Okay. 46% of buyers will instantly be put off by dark and dingy rooms. Okay. So we want to make it bright. So something like that overall. Can you see how that just straight away?
I like that, yeah.
That freshens it nicely, doesn't it?
Then it's things like the light fittings, which I know are obviously for your style and your taste.
They're not.
Excellent. They're all for
It was more to keep it with the house, really.
Right, get rid of them. Get rid of them.
We weren't brave enough to
Go modern.
get the right modern, yeah.
Just because you've got an old house, you don't have to do everything old. Let's get into the kitchen.
Brilliant.
Okay.
I shall mind my head.
Yes.
Do I duck or do I limbo? That is the question.
Living room sorted, through to the kitchen.
It does feel a tad dated. And some of the other sellers, when they came in here, they said that it felt like a sort of 1970s kitchen. I mean, I wouldn't go that far. I think it just feels quite dated. It's a sort of 80s, 90s kitchen, isn't it, really? So we're going to make this look incredibly contemporary, very modern and up-to-date, but it's still going to have that lovely vintage cottagey feel. Do we have any tilers in the family?
Yeah, we do.
We've tiled. We could do tiling.
I'm going to be dragged into the 21st century.
Whether you like it or not. So you put those all the way across, and then you use a grout, a darker colour. So if you can get one this sort of colour, or even grey, you know, a grey to go in between, it will really make them ping out.
Okay.
Right.
With these units, these will paint up a treat. So for the units themselves, this sort of block, solid colour, which is much more modern, much more contemporary. So you paint the inside bits this lovely pink colour, and bearing in mind that all of this is going to be filled with that glorious china that you've got over there, so it's not going to be a huge amount of pink.
I think freshening it up and modernising it, that sounds great.
Excellent. How could you not fall in love with the idea of living in a place like this? It is absolutely breathtakingly beautiful. However, when the practicality of living somewhere with such low ceilings kicks in, I feel that it will put the majority of people off. So what the girls have got to do is work incredibly hard to wow any potential buyer when they walk through that door, so they forget about this property's limitations.
I think it's going to look great, actually, Mum. I think we've been trying to be brave and make it a bit more modern, but she's taken us that next step and then the step further, and I think we'll be brave and we'll do it, Mum. We'll get the work done.
We will.
It'll be really good.
So to start de-dinging the lounge, Rosemary embarks on a declutter.
Surprising what you found. I'm not sure why I've got an old Christmas card.
While next door, Claire clears her mum's kitchen.
Why have you got like 6 jams? Do you like jam?
Yes, shove it in somewhere. Someone's given it to me, probably.
Kitchen cleared, brother Rob can get to work taking down the dated tiles. But one look at the ancient wall behind prompts a quick rethink.
Instead of getting all the tiles off and then maybe ripping the plaster off, I'll just tile straight onto there. Down.
Nice job. And nice pants. In Sussex, my 3 sellers are working flat out to make improvements to their homes in the hope of impressing my buyer, chauffeur Chris.
Downstairs is the key area to me, followed closely by the garden outside.
At Richard and Camilla's masculine semi, it's all about bringing feminine colours to the black and white house. Upstairs in the blokey bedroom, the wheelie bin black wallpaper is coming down.
It's so different. It's already bigger and whiter, and yeah, it's a
Not as
different
nice?
look. Different nice.
I'm hoping it will look better with the gold, but it'll be dubious, I think.
It's like he's allergic to colour. Maybe the blue on the shed will change his mind.
Kind of got that fresh feel for it. Definitely a step up, so.
Well, that's a start. At Indy and Sue's old post office, it's all about transforming the empty old shopfront into a warm, welcoming lounge to make the whole building feel more like a family home.
Look at all us busy bees.
Sue and Indy have called in Sue's husband Joe, Indy's daughter Sonia, son-in-law Ravi and grandson Amit to paint the old shop.
I haven't left any bits.
I think I give you 9.5.
Oh, thank you.
I was a bit apprehensive, obviously, you know, but looking at everybody helping and doing all this now is, it's coming together, I think.
Painting done, Joe turns his hand to putting up some warm yellow wallpaper.
Oh my goodness me, look at that. I think it matches really nicely with my car as well. So there you are. See, it was all planned.
At Rosemary's ancient cottage, it's all about banishing the dinginess and brightening it up to bring back its charm. In the kitchen, Rosemary's son Rob is putting up metro tiles.
I think the light tiles with the slightly contrasting paint is going to make a big impression. It really does freshen it up and modernise it very nicely.
Meanwhile, Rosemary and Claire tackle the lounge.
Going to get all the painting in here done today,
Yes,
Mum.
I'm just dying to see what the paint looks like on the wall. Oh wow, isn't that lovely?
Painting dark spaces in light pastel colours is an easy way to make a room more vibrant.
Looks fantastic, doesn't it?
Do you like it?
Yeah.
Paint it all white.
Reminds me of peppermint.
In his formerly black and white lounge, Richard is adding impact to the space with bold wallpaper.
Just stick it to the middle of it.
Yeah.
Just stick it. Just.
Oh, what do you want me to do?
Oh dear, back to the drawing board, or at least the pasting table.
All the way down. That looks pretty good, doesn't it? Yeah. Oh, yes.
With success in the lounge, it's upstairs to bring blue to the once monochrome master bedroom.
This is nice. This is better than I thought. Actually, I'm pretty happy.
Next, he tackles the wallpaper.
Yeah, this is very different, isn't it?
Over at Indy and Sue's old post office, the former shop space downstairs is fast becoming a lounge.
Here we go.
And the old cream lounge upstairs is about to become a striking bedroom.
Ooh. Ah, you've done it.
With a bold, dark green on the walls.
Well, it has brought some vibrance into the room, I think, from just being plain.
In fact, the ladies love the colour so much they're going to put it on all 4 walls. The peacock wallpaper I originally suggested has been framed to add splashes of colour in the room. At Rosemary's once dated cottage, daughter-in-law Amy is breathing new life into fusty old furniture.
If you don't sand it because it's so shiny, the paint just wouldn't take to the unit, so you just have to almost just scratch it, really.
Even the undercoat seems to cheer this old thing up. Over in the kitchen, Rosemary is a little off-colour about the wall paint.
This is coming out darker than I imagined it might. If I'm brutally honest, I would say it looks like camouflage.
But when Claire turns up, she spots something's wrong.
Are you sure you've got the right tin? And Mum said, oh yes, definitely. So we've opened the other tin and she hasn't. She's got the cupboard colours on the wall, but luckily it's only one.
But there's no mistaking the pink I chose for the shelves.
I like this pink very much. I think it's actually a really pretty rose colour. I think it's really nice.
Meanwhile, Rosemary puts the real off-white colour I asked for on the walls, but she's still not a happy bunny.
It may just be not what we would choose.
No.
It may look very nice but not be to our taste or choice, but then it might be more modern and what the buyer's looking for.
Over at Richard and Camilla's house, Richard's called in experts Aaron and Kate to bring a welcoming patio to his soulless garden.
They say that if you do up your garden, it adds another 10% to your property, so it just instantly makes it more appealing to a wider variety of people.
I think it adds another space, really, to the house.
And with daughter Chloe, Richard brings some plant life to the once featureless borders.
Compost. Can you say compost?
Tortoise.
It's not a tortoise.
In the bedroom, there's new, lighter cloth on the headboard, and in the lounge, a statement chair. So now, just finishing touches remain.
Just take a little bit of time to get used to it being my house, really. But hopefully it will sell. So, yeah, no, really happy.
Richard's lounge was monochrome, masculine, and unappealing to family buyers. Now the room is colourful and inviting at a cost of £495.
Oh, wow.
Well, that's a difference, isn't it?
Yeah.
Gosh, you've been busy, haven't you? It looks great. So much better.
Glad you said that.
Do you think? Do you think?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Does it feel weird?
It does. It doesn't feel like my house at the moment, but it's really nice. There's loads more space.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's
loads.
brightened that up loads.
And you know, it doesn't feel like your house at the moment. Hopefully, it won't be your house for much longer. You know, it's the plan.
I don't know. It might grow on me, and then I want to stay.
Don't stay. You're not supposed to be. It was so blokey in here before, which is fine because you are a bloke, and I love the fact you're still wearing black. Is that like rebellion? You might make me change my house, but I'm not changing my clothes. But now it feels far more feminine, but not in a really girly, over-the-top way. It's just little subtle things like the colour there, the cushions.
You have seen the cushions, though, right?
Yes, and I've
That's
seen
quite
the
good.
statement chair. Albeit
chair's
that's still
cool.
quite a blokey statement chair.
It is. Yeah, the chair's wicked. Really, really nice. I like the chair.
The garden was stark, empty and unwelcoming. Now it's got a patio for entertaining and the borders are alive with plants. Total cost £938.
Do you know, it's so much nicer, guys. Because you never liked out here, did you?
No.
What do you think of it now?
I like it. I was actually sitting here yesterday.
You actually... What do you mean, you weren't painting? You've done a tremendous job. You really have. From that sort of barren wasteland, that posh prison yard. It is no longer a prison yard. It's gorgeous. It's really great.
The black and white master bedroom had an almost industrial feel. Now it's a warm sleeping space with cornflower blue walls and a reupholstered headboard. Total cost £158.
This is a little bit special, isn't it?
It's nice, isn't it?
Yeah, just a bit. It's totally transformed from a real bachelor pad to something that's got so much more appeal now.
Yeah.
Does it feel like you're staying in a hotel now?
It does. That's exactly what you said yesterday, wasn't it?
You've worked, both of you, so hard this week, so hard, and you've transformed 3 key areas of your home. I think you've improved the saleability of this place tenfold.
At Indy's post office, the girls are upcycling frames Indy bought to bring colour to her new master bedroom.
The paper might be able to just
stick in, yeah.
In the new downstairs lounge, privacy is proving tricky.
Where the window is, there is no place to actually put the curtain poles on. And to put the curtain poles on, we need to change the window. A little hiccup, but we'll get around it.
But rather than spend thousands on a new window, Indy wisely is hanging nets instead.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. You can walk around in your pants now.
As a bright new carpet goes down downstairs, upstairs they put up a bed.
Oh, come on, for heaven's sake, get in.
With the bed made up, the suite is brought down to the new lounge and there's just time for a few finishing touches.
From sitting there and serving all my customers as a postmistress, it is now my beautiful lounge. It's lovely. It looks really nice.
The old post office was an empty space, cut off from the rest of the house. Now it's the very heart of the home, a warm and welcoming lounge. Total cost £1,115.
Wow, wow, wow.
There you go.
Oh, it feels like a proper living room.
So, what do you think?
It's wonderful. It's great, girls. What a change.
Yes.
It's so different. Because I came in there the last time, didn't I?
Did, yes. Because it was the shop then, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. And now it feels like a sitting room, and it's great. And from the outside as well, the netting up, it feels like a front room.
Yes.
The feature wall is beautiful, and this colour has worked really, really well.
Yes, it has, hasn't it? It's worked really well.
And it's so strange, isn't it? Because last week it felt bare and quite barren and empty, and now it's warm and it's cosy and it looks lovely.
Yes, and you can have parties in here now.
You can.
Well.
Right, let's go look at this bedroom.
Okay.
After you ladies, through your new door.
Yes.
The bland upstairs lounge was unappealing to practical family buyers. Now it's an opulent master bedroom with a touch of the Orient. Total cost £180.
Oh, isn't it beautiful?
What do you think?
I'm whispering because it's really serene and calm in here. Oh, it's lovely.
Isn't it
Lovely.
just? Yes.
Yeah.
Do you like the colour?
Love the colour. It's a great property, this. It's got so much history that it used to be a post office. And 7 days ago, it didn't work because you didn't have a proper sitting room, or you did, but it was up on
Upstairs.
the first floor, and it all felt a bit disjointed. But now it flows, doesn't it? Now you come in here and you think, oh yeah, actually this works.
Yes.
I think it's great. I really do.
At Rosemary and Claire's 16th century cottage, the dated kitchen is no more, as the Metro tiles get a modern grey grout to complete the look.
Makes the other ones look very dated, doesn't it?
Meanwhile, Claire's husband Stephen reckons he's found the perfect lamp to brighten up the living room.
Yeah, I think these are more suited to what Amanda's vision was. So.
As Rosemary puts in place the upcycled furniture, there's just time for some brightening finishing touches.
Done really well.
I think we've had the courage to follow the advice even when we weren't sure. And it's come good.
What was a dingy living room stuck in the past has been freshened with peppermint paint and modern lighting. Total cost £955.
Come and see what you think of this.
I think it is absolutely beautiful. It's so charming. This little collection is just gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I know when I left, all the colours were slightly, I wouldn't say freaking you out, but they were unnerving you a little bit because you were much more sort of traditional colours, weren't you, than kind of bright pops and candy colours. Now you look at it, what do you think?
It all works. It isn't something that I would ever have thought of, but it is absolutely brilliant.
Suits the style of the house so well.
It does.
And it's such a unique property that anyone walking in here, as long as they're this big, is going to absolutely love it. And I can catch glimpses of pink doorknobs and Metro tiles. Can we go look?
No, yeah, definitely.
No. Come on, let me. I'm going.
Don't touch them.
The kitchen was dated and dreary. Now it's been brought dazzlingly up to date with Metro tiles and a grey and pink colour scheme. Total cost £157.
So gorgeous. This is my favourite bit of my job, coming in and seeing these makeovers. Look at this.
I know, it does the petite set proud.
It is absolutely wonderful. It's so pretty and so in keeping with this cottage and its character. Have you come round to the pink?
I have, yes. I think it always looks different when you've got all the furnishings back in.
Absolutely,
You know, and the little things just tie it all together. No, I think it looks very effective. I think the tiles make a big difference.
Tiles make a huge
It
difference.
really modernises it.
Yeah, lovely.
No, I'm very, very pleased with it all.
Have you managed to do it within your £1,000 budget?
I think we've gone about £100 over budget, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
So we're really pleased.
For the amount of work you've done, it's glorious.
Yeah.
It really is.
In Sussex, my three sellers have worked their socks off to get their homes up to scratch to impress my buyer, Chris. Indy and Sue have transformed their old post office space into a lounge and turned their bland upstairs sitting room into a lush master bedroom.
We got the job done on time, and I think we have done a very good job.
Richard and Camilla have brought colour and life to their once monochrome three-bedroom new build.
It's awesome, isn't it? Yeah, it's just take a little bit of time to get used to it being my house, really. But hopefully it will sell.
And Rosemary and Claire have said goodbye to the medieval Merc by bringing candy store colours and modern lighting to their 600-year-old cottage.
It's been a really good experience, actually. It's been hard work, but the property looks fantastic now.
Yeah,
really
really
does.
pleased.
Yeah.
Well, now it's all down to my buyer, Chris, starting at Richard and Camilla's three-bedroom new build.
So, property number one. Now, I know that you like modern houses, and as you can see, driving through, they're still in the process of being built. This one's finished. What do you think?
Yeah, first impressions, OK. It looks quite nice initially.
On to the inside, where there's a modern kitchen and a lounge with added impact.
So come through to your lounge diner. Decor-wise, style-wise, is this the sort of thing that you had in mind?
Yeah, nice clean lines, reasonable size. Wouldn't want anything smaller than this. I have to say straight away that it doesn't tick our first box.
No, the kitchen diner
which
bit.
is the kitchen diner.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, other aspects to it look quite nice.
I know garden's important as well, isn't it?
It is.
Let's go and see where we put the barbecue.
OK.
So, does size matter?
From a downsize point of view, this is about the sort of size of garden you'd want.
So the patio has, as you can see by the different colours, been extended. This was it.
Yes, classic new build patio, that is. Yep.
Who's got the green fingers? You or Stella?
Mrs. Tonkin.
Mrs. T has the green fingers. Do you think this would be a good size for her? She would be able to handle this?
I think it would. Yeah,
Right.
she'd go for something this size. So.
Excellent, excellent. Let's go look at the bedrooms.
OK.
After you.
So, good news in the garden. Let's hope the bedroom delivers too.
Come through. So you've got 3 bedrooms in this house.
Yeah.
Ensuite shower.
Excellent. Excellent. That's a particularly good size ensuite.
Yeah.
And this is quite a decent size for a master bedroom. But as I said earlier, decor's nice. Nice. Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the price of this one then. What do you think it's being marketed at?
Wow. $375.
Bang on the nose!
Yeah, $375 is a good price.
Okay. Let's go show you something completely different.
Okay.
After you.
Thank you.
So, not exactly what Chris had in mind, but he likes the price. On to Indy and Sue's old post office.
So I'll give you a little bit of background. This was originally the village post office. Okay.
Interesting.
Interesting. Let's go have a look.
Yeah.
First, into the newly created downstairs lounge.
Right, come on through. Ding, ding, ding. Shop.
It was obviously a shop, but
Yeah.
it's been lightened up and brightened up.
But if you imagine that front...
Stylish windows,
Yeah.
shutters.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But it's whether or not, I guess, at this chapter of your life, you want to be doing all of that malarkey.
It wouldn't be a challenge because you get a builder in to do it, but then you'd have to
It'd be
probably
a
move
hassle.
out.
Upstairs, there's a family bathroom and 3 bedrooms, including the master, which has been reclaimed from the old lounge.
So this was the sitting room,
Ooh.
but now it's a lovely big bedroom.
Yes. And it's like somebody's been fairly hard at work
Painting.
in here as well. Well, no, because it's actually quite a nice colour scheme, but this is more what we're used to quite honestly in a bigger house.
Yeah. This is quite an unusual property to try and price because it is quite unique. Where are you thinking?
I'm thinking 325.
Ooh. 415.
That's a lot.
And on that note,
Yes. On that note,
let's go look at something completely different.
yeah.
So, a good sight more than Chris looks like he'd be willing to pay. On to Rosemary and Claire's 600-year-old 4-bed cottage.
This is such a magical, charming, unique house.
It looks fantastic.
Yeah.
Really, it does. Got to see it. I've got to see it.
So far, so good. Straight into the revived lounge.
Wow. Yes. Stunning property. The fireplace is nearly about half the size of the front room.
Style, colours, whole scheme.
Without the sort of the pale green walls and the white ceiling, I would think it would feel quite claustrophobic. Funnily enough, it doesn't.
Let me show you the kitchen.
Yeah. Great.
Watch your head.
So the lounge is a hit. Let's hope he likes the kitchen next door.
It's a charming little cottage garden.
Oh, yes, it is.
Pretty, isn't it?
Yeah.
What do you think Mrs. T would think of it?
I would think she would think it was absolutely gorgeous, but from a practical point of view, it would be tricky.
Do you think you could even hazard a guess as to the price?
Either close or just above £500,000.
No, it's 425,000.
I would have thought, because it's such a unique property, it would be even more than that. But
3 incredibly different properties. I know that I've sort of thrown lots of curveballs at you, so I think we should retire to somewhere that sells ale and sup a while.
do I deserve
Have
it?
you noticed my 14th century coming in? Fare thee well. Let us go, sire.
So let's see which house, if any, tickled Chris's fancy the most.
Let's start with the house that I guess was probably the closest to what you wanted on paper, which was the modern house.
The dimensions of the property were good. Upstairs was excellent, really, and is definitely what we expect to have.
Downsize too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Downstairs, unfortunately, just didn't fit the bill because it didn't have the kitchen diner. But it was, it was a good property, and I can see why a lot of people would be extremely happy.
The village post
Yes.
office.
Wow, the village post office, with imagination, with a fair amount of hard work, I think you could turn it into something really nice for a small family or whatever that wants to live in the village. 3 stories for me goes against it slightly. Again, I wouldn't spend my whole time sprinting up and down. Very nice though.
Which leaves us with what I think is probably still one of the most unusual, pretty, charming, magical properties I've ever seen.
Yes. I have to say, when we looked at it from the outside, right in the middle of the village again, I expected it to be dark and dingy inside because already, it's ancient. But it wasn't, so somebody worked very hard to make it light and bright.
Do you have a favourite?
It would be the first house.
The modern house.
Every day. Because of what it is, it's modern, the features are modern, you know everything's going to work, and I suspect once you're there and put your own stamp on it, it wouldn't be long before you got very used to it and happy days.
Yeah. Well, wherever you end up, and I'm sure Mrs. T will find what she wants pretty quickly. So good luck with it, and enjoy the downsizing and the free time.
I would. Thank you, Amanda. It's been a super day.
So Chris's house hunt continues, but of our 3 homes, he liked Richard and Camilla's the best.
Really?
2 days.
Really?
Yeah.
The other sellers' homes may not have found favour with Chris, but all the work put into making them saleable won't be going to waste.
Well, I just hope it goes to somebody else that enjoys it as much as I have.
We've done the house justice now.
Yes, I think we have.
Yes.
I'm glad we've got the place sort of up and running, so to speak, and it is up for sale with the estate agent. So hopefully there will be somebody else comes along and falls in love with the place.
And a few weeks on, Richard has had some fantastic news.
Got some really good news. Managed to sell the house. Got a couple in who were very impressed with all the hard work that I did. Made an offer, accepted. Yeah, happy days.